See, the thing is, you may think you're good at that. You may think that is what people are going to like about you. What you ought to be doing is to actually...
Welcome back to Mad Labbers, best place for small business owners. Now today we're going to be debunking the myths when it comes to doing YouTube for business. Let's see whatever that you have in mind. Is it real? Is it fake? Let's find out.
And if you're looking to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and you want to know how you can fast track that process, go check out our free ebook in the comments or the description. Go download it there.
So now myth number one, everybody will know you. That's one of the biggest fear when it comes to putting themselves in front of the camera. You think just because you're making a video and you're posting it out onto the internet that instantly everybody will know you, they'll recognize you. Well, there is no such thing. The thing is that when it comes to doing business, you do want everybody to know you. Now later on, we're going to be talking about why it's important to find your niche. But I want to mention to you now how it is okay if everybody knows you when it comes to your business, because when you're making a video and if you're getting their views and you're finding a lot of people know you, they are knowing you is because of your expertise and your know-hows, not because they want to know where you stay, not because they want your autographs. The rules of influencers and celebrity doesn't apply. You're not trying to be a star here, so relax. In this case, you want people to know you so that the sales and the business comes to you.
Now guys, this next one really important is that you might think that you need a lot of money to start a YouTube channel. Now, if you have a lot of money, go ahead, no problem. But I can tell you for a fact that you actually don't need that to be the case. Now, you probably are watching or thinking that because you watch some of the popular YouTubers and you can see all the equipments they have. It's so sophisticated and so many of them, and you might feel very daunted. It feels like a mountain too high to climb. Now, all you need is an iPhone and some basic editing. Literally, that's it. There's no more that I need to say.
Now, did you know CapCut is one of the best apps that you can try if you are a beginner? And here's a kicker. You get to do auto subtitles on it as well. So you don't need a lot of money, just like what MJ said. Everything that you need, you already have it to start.
Now guys, before we move on, just to let you know, we have a mentorship program where you can apply to and work with us so that we can guide you how to build a business on social media. If that's something for you, go ahead and apply. Links are in the description and the comments.
Now, another myth that we would like to debunk is that I do sales on my content, on my YouTube channel. No, that's not how it works. Now, the thing is that you do sales, but on landing pages, on another different point of contact. So how does YouTube fit into this picture? Now, all of your organic content is marketing. It's a point, it's a place for you to influence, for you to market, and get them to be attracted to what you have to offer. And then you funnel them to the next part. So if you're thinking you want to immediately do sales and film videos that talk about why they should buy, nah, that's not how you should do it. You should do it on other platforms, which we will teach you someday.
The way to look at YouTube is to think of it like a storefront. If you want people to get to know who you are, you know, what you do, what you're expert in, YouTube is a fantastic place to be. And as Vincent said, you don't need every video to tell people, hey, go buy this, hey, go buy that. Here's why this is very good. Here's why my product or my service is fantastic. You can do it every now and then, but it is not a need. What you do need to do is to create high quality content that attracts people, to get people to learn about the industry and thereby raising your status as an expert in the field.
Say, for example, you might be a fitness instructor or you might be a wedding planner. Now, initially, nobody's gonna care about your packages and what you have to offer, but what they do want to know is how to do things better. Whether if it's how to work out better, how to diet better, how to plan your wedding better, what are the dresses that are appropriate. These are all the things that they want to know. Now, when you make a lot of this content, you're actually sharing your beliefs, your method of handling things, and that's how they will be influenced by you and they will go to your sales pages.
Now, when starting out, you will realize the importance of a niche, right? I think that's very clear. We've explained it in previous videos before, where a niche essentially helps you to stand out. It tells people that, hey, I'm focused on this area, this is my area of expertise, and the content I do is related to those niches, and therefore I am an expert. Now, what has happened to a lot of people starting out, and you may be like that as well, is that they think that therefore, before they start a YouTube channel, they need to figure out the niche. Specifically, I need to know this is the specific client I'm going to work with this specific problem, and that's how I'm going to start. What that might end up doing to you is that you miss out on opportunities. See, the thing is, you may think you're good at that. You may think that that is what people are going to like about you. What you ought to be doing is to actually experiment. Come up with different types of videos that you're interested in. Be as broad as possible at the beginning so that you can gauge what is the viewer's response, what is the market's response to the kind of content you do. And it might surprise you. Maybe you think A is what you're good at, but end up people are a lot more impressed with B. But you can't know this if right from the beginning, you already set in stone that this is going to be my niche and this is how I'm going to do it. Now, this is especially true if you're a complete newbie. Of course, if you've already got a background, if you've already got, let's say, clienteles, or even people in your life that really look up to you or really think you're an expert in certain areas, then yes, go ahead and start. Just with the niche that you've already predetermined. But if you're not quite there yet, don't beat yourself up for not figuring it out. Spend the first couple of months just doing any sort of content that you think might be interesting.
Now, I have a lot of students who I advise to do exactly just that. Now, some of us, we may feel stubborn in changing our direction just to experiment. But eventually, from what I gathered from my students is that as soon as they experiment and they find the result that got them more views than before, well, instantly you'll feel much more happier about your situation. I'm sure a lot of this myth got you thinking. So we want to know your thoughts. So comment down below, like and subscribe to this channel, and let's continue. Now, this is one of the biggest myths that everybody has in mind, which is YouTube generates passive income. Well, that is true, but don't think that you don't have to do much to make sure that it's always staying passive. Now, here's what I mean. Most of the time, passive income means you have to be putting a lot of work. Think about it. It's like building a fortress. Now, once you have a fort, it's easier to defend your castle. It's easier to place your soldiers on top of the fort and have a good vantage point and just do whatever they needed to do. But think about it. Passive income is exactly the same thing. You gotta first build your fort and then operate that fort. And the analogy of the fort is the same as your YouTube channel. You might be thinking it's passive, but you gotta build tons and tons of videos so that it works passively for you. And on top of that, you gotta always be constantly updating your products, your links, and the things that you have to say. All of this needs to be constantly worked on. So if you're thinking you want to do YouTube, it's just so that you can do a couple of stuff and then sit back and relax, think again. Because the fact that you have to be active means you're going to make that passive income work even better. So prepare yourself to get your hands dirty and then reap the rewards that is going to be compounding later on.
Now, YouTube can be passive if you do a lot of work, a lot of active work in the beginning and you get things right. The way YouTube pays you money is if people continuously watch your videos over time, and of course if they stay on the videos for a long time. Now, in order to do that, you need to come up with content that is what we call evergreen. In other words, people will be watching it in 2023 and 2033 and even 2043, i.e. your content will still be relevant after all those years. Now, just imagine and think about that for a moment. To achieve something like that, you need to think really, really hard on the kind of content you're going to do. The preparation needs to be very, very good and that it needs to stand the test of time. And this is why YouTube is not as passive as you might think it to be, simply because the videos you do can become outdated. It doesn't mean that it cannot be done, but you just got to be realistic with your expectations. Next myth: you need a lot of subscribers or views to make money. This is absolutely not true. Just to give you a case in point, I run a channel called Viral. It's still less than 20,000 subscribers after coming up to 2 years now. And by most measures, it's not the greatest channel out there, even for the field that I operate in, which is stock investing. However, as you get up, we put it up here, I managed to, in those couple of years, make 6 figures in USD terms. Now, how did I do it? The way I did it is because I was trying to solve a specific problem. You see, you may have a video or you may have a subscriber base, 1 million, let's say, and they like your content, they love your content, they're amazing, they share it to everybody and everybody's like, yeah, fantastic content. But none of that means that they're going to give you money. And of course, as a business owner, that's one of your key concerns. But among many concerns, one of your key concerns is how do you get people to pay you? And the way you do that is not by simply creating content that is viral or exciting or share-worthy. Those are fantastic things to have. But it's also content that helps people solve a particular pain point. And in the absence of a pain point, people are not going to give you money. And it's as simple as that. So don't focus on purely what we call the vanity metrics, views and subscribers. These are great things to have, obviously. But understand that that is totally okay to have a lower subscriber base as long as you have a functioning business model.
I myself run a simple entertaining reaction channel where I'm not selling anything. And even though I have about like 4 million views, but just like what MJ said, not necessarily those views will convert into money. But also adding to this point is that in my own experience, before I even reach to 1,000 subscribers, I start forming a community that is willing to pay me Patreon money. So true to what MJ said, you don't need that many views and subs to earn money.
And as the saying goes, there's a million ways to make $1 million.
Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you small business owners blossom by making big bucks. So thanks for watching, and if you're interested to learn more about how to do YouTube for business, check out these videos.